I'm training. I'm already sweating.
Ladies and
So
gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to our official virtual press conference between Jason the Gator Granado and Isaiah Showstopper Jackson. I'm especially excited about this fight. Not just because these are two very upcoming, raw, talented young men, but my goodness, you guys, the buzz that we've been getting about this fight on social media has been absolutely crazy, right? So we're going to start with Jason real quick. Jason, I wanted to ask you first and foremost, I'm sure camp has started already for you. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Camp's been started, so it's nothing new. But I'm feeling good, feeling dangerous, like I always am at this part of the training camp. And I'm just gonna go in there and do what I do best. You already know me.
Now, Isaiah, I'm going to ask you the same thing, man, and we're excited to have you on because we haven't worked with you before, but we know you're talented. We know you come from a talented team. Has camp started for you? How are you feeling leading up to this fight?
yeah, so I'm feeling really good. I started camp about the end of June. I had a fight and another promotion the beginning of that month, so I just been training off of that. Had a little celebration. Never really left the gym. And as you can see, I'm already in the gym. I broke the sweat. He's at home chilling. I really do this work when nobody listens. I work overnight. When I'm working overnight, I'm still working. Like I'm getting these legs right, 24/7. I feel good.
I love it. I love it. Now, I wanted to tell you guys something before we get a little further along in the questioning about the reason I made the fight between you two. I don't know if you guys know this. I didn't know there was any history between you two at all. The reason I made this fight is because in our registration system, Isaiah, you signed up on July 6th. And within 15 minutes, Jason also signed back up. And the weights were close. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, this is meant to be. I'm going to make this fight. I had no idea there was a history at all between the two of you. So I'm going to start with you, Isaiah. We're going to go back and forth, back and forth. Isaiah, I'm going to start with you. Apparently, there's a bit of a history between you two. Kind of give me, your version of the history.
All right. So when I first found Chris Monzo, when we first started training back in 2019, we were training out of a small little gym, but then we switched over to self-made. In between that transition, I met a kid. I say kid because he's younger than me. He's still in school and he wasn't mature. He had a lot of growing to do. He only did boxing. He would eat his legs up with leg kicks. He didn't know Muay Thai. Couldn't clinch for his life. Can't grapple, probably still. And there's just too many reasons why I was his big brother. So me and Coach, we had this bond and we were helping him. Then time goes by. I switched over. I moved to Las Vegas to work with Syndicate MMA. So I was working with UFC level guys consistently for a year, and I come back. Within that transition of me coming back, I had, 2 practices with Jason. I had one with Thanksgiving and another one, right before he left in, February or something. And both of those training sessions, he knows how they went. He knows I'm dangerous. I kicked him in his face. He went to Thanksgiving dinner with a toe print on his face. I don't understand where he gets this sudden confidence from. Now he's at another gym, but, he's always been my little brother. So now that he's at X-Fit or whatever it's called, he's below me, and that's the history.
I get it. Now, Jason, I'm going to ask you the same thing, man. It sounds like there's a bit of history here. It sounds like Isaiah feels like he can big brother you come September 3rd.
I will.
Kind of tell me what your thoughts are on this.
There's a little bit of history. I wouldn't say history. I'd say more we trained together in the gym before. I've competed in a few tournaments or whatever with him, and I've only seen him lose. I haven't really seen him do too much in there. So, all that big brother stuff. Just because he's older, I've fought older guys before. You've seen it, George.
Right.
You see what I do.
Right.
And so it's
right.
not a different person going into this. It's just a new opponent.
Right. And Jason, we've had you in the Lions Den a couple times. You looked good in your first fight. You looked even better in the second fight. You seem to be really settling in to a style. Now, I imagine you've seen, Isaiah's style in the past. How do you think your style matches up against Isaiah?
Same as always. Too big, too fast, too much. You know, he's wild. He likes to go. What's that word I'm looking for? He just likes firefights. You've seen what happens when guys like to do that with me. Like I'm saying, it's just another opponent, man. Just another opponent. That's all.
And I love the sound of a firefight, Isaiah. And you know, I'm looking forward to watching the showstopper in action. What's your response to that? And what's your answer to that question? You know, how does the style match up in this fight? How's it going to play out for us?
All right, so this isn't even, I'm gonna answer the question, but I'm talking to you right now, Jason. So listen to me, all right? You're going to, if you run into me, if you directly run into me and try to put that pressure, that imaginary pressure you do on the bum that you fought, you're going to get hurt. Do not think about what you do with me, because if you run with that pressure, I'm going to hurt you. So other than that, he knows my style. I'm unpredictable. I get in his head. I figure out what he's going to do once I get a couple reads, and I'm dangerous. Everything I throw hurts. So if he's willing to get in, they call me Showstopper for a reason. Because the origin of that nickname
Because the venue was trash. That's why.
Because I put a man in a hospital. Because I put a man in a hospital. That's why. Jason,
Isaiah,
don't be next. Watch your mouth. Respect your big brother.
Isaiah, now you
ass nigga.
Isaiah, now your nickname is the Showstopper. Obviously, you know, we want to bring a great show to the Commerce Casino on September 3rd. Part of the reason we're excited to have you on. I love to hear that your fighting style is kind of stand and bang and bring the heat. I know Jason's kind of the same way. What can fight fans look forward to, Isaiah, from the Showstopper on September 3rd at the Commerce Casino?
Okay, so if you haven't heard about me, you will. Everything that I do is entertaining. Everything I do is a performance. I'm not a character. I'm just being me. It's authentic, and people like me. So from the entrance all the way to the end of the fight, it's going to be respectful, but it's going to be real. So if you want to tune into that, if you want to see what I'm about, my crazy style, it may look wild, but it's technical. Everything I do has a purpose. Everything I do hurts. And if it doesn't hurt now, it's going to hurt later. So if you want to see some technical bang Muay Thai-ish, tune into me. But if you want to see a caveman run into little boys because he's bigger than them, watch Jason.
Jason, you know, what's your answer to that question? You know, I mean, we've already seen you a couple times in the Lions Den. You know, we know what you do. You've looked really strong. You've looked aggressive. You look technical yourself. You know, what's the next evolution for Jason Granado in the Lions Den? What can we expect from you in this fight on September 3rd?
I'm just getting better every single fight. I'm training with better people every single fight. Every time I step into the gym, man, I'm just surrounded by such good talent. All the boys know that from XFIT. I'm going in there with champions, Muay Thai champions, MMA pros. So I'm just getting looks from all over. So, you know, Isaiah, like I've said, Isaiah's really nothing new. He's a smaller, shorter guy to me. A little bit thicker.
You haven't been in any wars. You fight.
Nobody can give me a war.
I moved to Vegas and fucking fought UFC level guys. That lost you're talking about, he would have whooped your ass and gave it to you on a silver platter. I trained with him. Just like I trained with you, I know the level. He's my big brother. He's fucking 33 and he's on his way up. He's about damn near a pro. I will eat you alive. It's not, you haven't had what I've had. You haven't had the adversity I've had. When I hit you hard and I hit you first, you're going to question why you're in there with me. I promise you that. I'll promise you that on everything I love.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I don't really know who he's talking about.
Stop talking. The man's talking.
I mean, every time I've seen him compete, he's only lost in front of me. So he's only seen me win.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this is our Jason Granado versus Isaiah Jackson press conference. The only place you can watch this fight is to get tickets at FightersRep.com. You can buy them from the fighters themselves, and they will get credit if you do that. But if you buy online, you'll get better seats because reserved, front row, and VIP is online only. And if you put their names in at checkout, these two young men will get credit. Also, for whatever reason you can't make it to Fighters Rep 15, which would be crazy. You'd be crazy to miss out on these fights. You can join the channel, just $9.99 a month, and watch this fight. Also, be sure to subscribe and follow these young men on Instagram. Follow Isaiah Jackson. Follow Jason Granado on Instagram. Now, Now, showstopper. Now, showstopper. Let me ask you a question. You know, you mentioned your training. You mentioned your technique. You know, you're training out of engaged combat training. Kind of tell me a little bit about your training. Kind of, you know, show some love to the camp. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so my main training partner, my brother in arms, his name's Mook Mitchell Jr. You know, he's a killer. He's just as technical. Now he's probably more technical than I am. I'm just explosive, right? So he's an experienced striker. He's fighting what is it called? Street beefs, and he's knocked men out like repetitively. And he got his first knockout, first round in King of the Cage with me. So he's my main training partner. We're hitting. If you know anything about the IE, if you know about San Bernardino, we run them out sacrilegiously. We're getting our legs right. We're getting our cardio right. Me and him are hitting pads. I got Amir and I got a couple other people. Our Muay Thai style isn't traditional, but that's what makes it unpredictable. And other than that, my ground game's looking good for when I transition back to MMA. Because by the way, my whole goal is MMA. I already have a record in that, and I'm 1-0. So stop talking, boy. While I'm going to be doing this is just a side mission in my whole journey. I'm going to kickboxing. I'm doing FightersRep to get a name, get a reputation, and also to shut this little boy up because I don't know where he gets it. Like he was in my DMs asking about my weight, so it was like written in stone that he wanted to fight me. I don't know where.
Well, listen, Isaiah, I appreciate.
They call him. They call him the Gator, but he's more
like
like a
this
snake.
fight's go blown up. You know why?
It's because of me.
welcome.
You came to my promotion
You're
in Vegas.
welcome.
Everybody knew me there. Everywhere I go, it blows up. Not you.
Which
It
promotion?
just so happens you have a
promotion?
little streak behind Buns.
What promotion?
Smokers. You know about
Oh, the
it.
one you
Don't
lost?
act dumb.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, you're right. Don't worry. I
Yeah,
forgot
and
the
you
one
can actually
lost.
watch that video on YouTube too. If you want to watch that fight, it was a war. If you want to know about my style, watch that fight. It's a split decision. You can make your own opinions, but I know what I did to him is everything that I did to him is going to be on you, but worse. Remember when we sparred? I liked you. You were my friend. I don't fucking care about you now. Now that I don't give a shit about whether your health, like I pray that you make it there safely, but you're not going to leave okay. Like you're going to get hurt with me. Like I don't know how else I can make this clear to you. Yo, goofy ass. That's how I know you, little boy. You don't.
Or you can go watch
hear
his
me.
fight. You can go watch his fight, George, and you can skip forward about an hour and see me put in that work.
Gotcha.
Against
gotcha.
another
See me knock
bum.
the motherfucker
That's the
out,
thing.
for
Against
real.
another
You
bum.
see me.
He said he's only seen you lose, bro.
Now let me,
You haven't lost in a while.
Jason. Now let me ask you a question, Jason. You know, kind of the same thing I asked the showstopper. You know, you're representing over there at XFit. You know, that's your home gym. Kind of tell me about the gym. Tell me about the training you're getting. Show some love to the gym.
Oh, it's such a good gym, man. They put in work every day, all day, and they make sure
Why aren't you
everybody's
there?
on the right track.
Why aren't you there?
I used to be at the gym that he's at right now, but they're only training 3 hours a week. I wasn't really about that. I'm only 19. I'm trying to train as much as I can. 3 hours a week isn't doing it. And now we're training 3 hours a day, every day. And and you saw the results. Everybody sees the results. I'm a way different fighter. I'm a way better fighter. Like I said, nothing new.
I love it. I love it. Now I'm going to ask you guys this. On September 3rd, again, it's going down, and you know, Jason, you've been there. You've seen what it's like to be in the Lions Den, and Isaiah, I'm sure you've done your research as well. You know, it's going to be lights, camera, action in that Lions Den, and I actually hope to bring you out of MMA and make you fall in love with kickboxing at this next event. But that being said, but that being said, showstopper, you know, on September 3rd, it goes down between you and Jason. Why should people watching come out and buy tickets to watch this fight?
All right, so you already hear how we're speaking to each other. You know, like we already know each other. This isn't new. You think this style pressure is going to run against me and is going to work? I hurt people. I'm good at violence. He's good at this little kickboxing thing. I do MMA. I do everything, mixed martial arts. I have those little gloves. He has those pillows that he calls gloves. I've trained with people that cross-train with him. They compare my punch to his punch. He has pillows for hands. I have melatonin in my gloves. When I hit, they don't. Your people, they TKO. I had my guy looking at 2 of the ref and 3 of me. He didn't know who was who. Like we're not on the same level. Like when I hit. So if you want to watch some real violence, watch this fight.
Jason, what are your thoughts? Why should people come out and watch this fight on September 3rd?
People should come watch this because one, Gator's fighting again. Gator is back. You know how we do it. Every single time we pull up in there, it's a show every single time. Kickboxing, you know, there's more action in kickboxing. I don't know what he's talking about kickboxing being weak or weak gloves or anything. That's where all the scrapping is. That's where, you know, all the standard. That's where everybody pays to see. We don't really. I mean, I love MMA. That's a big goal for me later on. But you know, we want to see scrapping, and that's what the people come to see, scrapping, and that's what we're gonna see. But we're gonna see it mostly on my side because this ain't nothing new, George. You already know.
And there are a ton of people in the chat talking a whole lot of stuff for both of you. You guys have a lot of supporters, you know, Showstopper. What do you want to say to your supporters out there, man, and potential sponsors and everybody else? Is there anything you want to say before I let you guys go?
Yeah, all right. So, I guess ever since I started this MMA journey, I've had like kind of an aura around me, people who really are serious about this sport, people who are UFC level, Bellator level. They like to work with me. I'm receptive. I'm eclectic, if he even knows what that word is. So I like to learn. I'm willing to put myself out there in risky positions. I am from MMA, but I'm switching over to kickboxing one more time so I can put this boy to sleep. And everybody that's supporting me, thank you. You know, I represent the IE, San Bernardino, born and raised. And yeah, just keep doing what you guys do. You know, you see how hard I've worked ever since I started this. The results are coming, and don't join the showstopper train before it's too late. All right, because it's not stopping. Fights back to back.
I love it. I love it. Gator, what is your parting shot? You know, anyone you want to shout out, anything you want to say before I let you go here?
First of all, shout out my little brother Buzz. He's in the comments too. It's his birthday today. Shout out Buzz. Happy birthday, my boy. Shout out everybody in the comments. I see them all going crazy. But September 3rd, tune in. I'm gonna let my hands do the talking. I don't do talking. I don't do the social media talking like this guy. I don't do talking outside of it. You know, I show my talking in there, and that's what we're gonna do.
Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, there you have it. I mean, this is going to be a fantastic fight between two very talented young men. Get your tickets at FightersRep.com. Again, you can get the first row reserved seats and VIP online only. If you put their name at checkout where it asks who you came to see, you can get either man credit. Also, if anybody's interested in not just sponsoring the event, but sponsoring these two young men, right? You could feel free to reach out to them, or you could feel free to reach out to me. These kids are putting a lot of time, money, energy, and resources into their training camps. Anything you guys can do to help them and help us is greatly appreciated, and I'm happy to facilitate that. Guys, thank you so much for your time, man. I can't wait. You know, we had to do this. There was just so much buzz behind this fight. We had to do this, so I appreciate you guys doing it.
I'm good at what I do.
Hey, one more thing. I could beat him in kickboxing, and then I could beat him in MMA.
All right, then I'll see you there. I'll see you in MMA when you want to make that transition, because you got no experience.
Let's do it.
I will mangle you, boy. I will mangle you. If you think I'll hurt you standing up, I will mangle you on the floor. I'll turn you into a pretzel. I'll make you my hoe.
Like you did that last fight, or what? Like you did the last fight?
Oh, definitely put him to sleep. Definitely put him to sleep.
Last fight.
Yeah. Let's see what you can do.
Ladies and
you
gentlemen,
you talk about what other people do, but you don't talk about what I'm going to do to you. So like, or what you're going to do to me. So like, think about what you're going to speak. Like, think
I never
about.
fought you. What are you talking about?
Think before you speak.
ladies and gentlemen, Jason the Gator Granado, Isaiah the Showstopper Jackson, September 3rd. Don't miss it. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to hit that subscribe button, that like button, that bell notification icon. We're going to be constantly putting out content for you guys. Thank you again. Guys, I'm going to let you get back to training. I'm going to let you get back to your lives. I appreciate you guys joining me.
You know.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.